In this video, we're testing out the new ChatGPT desktop and its ability to integrate with applications. So the integrations I want to test out is the Notion app that we're looking at here. We might be able to do an integration with Chrome and a web application. How about we try with Visual Studio and maybe the terminal? And let's see if we can also work with something like an image from either Preview or directly with the file. So at the moment, I've got Notion open, and what we'll do is we'll drag in the GPT-10 desktop application. And what we'll firstly do is just use the search capability by clicking this button right here. And with the search turned on, we'll just ask the question of what are these new capabilities going on from day 11 of OpenAI's 12 Days of Christmas. And we've got all this information coming through. And what I'd like to do first is get this into the Notion application. So we can see here that we've got an advanced voice mode, so we'll check that out at some stage. And we've got integration into writing tools, of which Notion is one of them, and Apple Notes. So what we should do is turn off the search and click on this integration button and see what it comes up with. So when this dialog comes up, there are two sections. This is the section of applications that are open at the moment, but there'll also be an inactive apps, and these are applications that are available but that I haven't used. But what we'll do at the moment is we'll go to Notion, which is the application behind us, and we'll click Enable. So we need to enable the accessibility permissions. We'll just click on this button here. And we'll come to this accessibility and we'll turn on ChatGPT. So that's now integrated. And when we come down and click on this button again, it'll say that it's paired. Now, as we test things out, some things might not work the way I'm expecting. I've watched the video from day 11, and one of my first questions, and what we'll test out here, is it a full duplex system? Meaning, can it read from Notion and write to Notion at the same time? Now, one of the things you can notice with the chat window is it's actually talking about what it's connected to at the moment. So we're currently connected to the Notion application. So let's test the idea of, can we take the content that we've just grabbed and write it directly into the Notion page? So I've just added this simple prompt. Can you add all the information into the Notion page? And we'll just execute that and see if anything happens. And what it's done is given us an instructions of what to do. It hasn't actually written the information, as you can see, but it said open the Notion page, and it's actually got the name of the Notion page correct here, which is great. Click anywhere on the page to go into edit mode and then structure the content. So we've got this information. Now it's just talking about a copy paste instruction. So let's go and select all the information that's available for us here, and we'll press copy, and we'll come on down here and press enter and paste it all in. So the first test of making modifications in ChatGPT and then asking it to send it to Notion hasn't proven to do too much. We've had to just manually copy and paste. But maybe we can read this document in a different chat window and do something with it that way. So what I'll do is I'll create a brand new chat, and what we can do is we can go and click on this button here. We've got a new chat window created, and interestingly, we are still connected to the Notion template here. So let's just type in a prompt and we'll go, can you give me a bullet point list from the information in ChatGPT desktop so that I can create some infographics? And then from that, I think, go give me 3 different sorts of lists, because I want to see what sort of information I can extract out of this and create some sort of visual representation. Okay, so that's just finished and it's pretty good. We've got 3 different lists come out, and it's all interpretations of the information on the left. So we've got the advanced voice mode, writing tools integration, and the desktop applications. Now, one of the capabilities that I tested yesterday is the video sharing using voice mode. And I've got a video coming out which shows you how to use ChatGPT as a universal translator, a universal assistant. It's really powerful. But what I think we'll do is we'll just go and capture this information manually and then open up another application and see if we can integrate into that. What I've done over on the left is I've opened up Chrome, and I've just gone to a simple web application that I know about called Napkin. And this is a wonderful tool. And for now, I'm just going to paste in some of the information that we just got. Now, what I'd like to do is use this information and create an infographic. So what we'll do is we'll just go and click on this little button in here, And it's just going to absorb this information and come up with various graphics that we could work with. So we'll just go through, have a look for something that we like, and we'll click on it one more time. And now we have access to a graphic, and we should be able to export it as PNG or SVG, but it might be useful if we can absorb this into ChatGPT desktop. So that'll be our next test. So I might test by creating a new chat window again. So we'll come and click here, and we'll stop the working with Notion. So when you do the stop integration, it stops for all of them. So we'll just come and click on this button and see what we've got available now. So when we look through this list, we've got applications that are not Chrome. And if we go to inactive applications, we don't have Chrome here. So from what I can tell, integrating with a web application isn't going to work. So I think we should just load these graphics straight into our Notion page at the moment, and we'll do that for each of them. So I've just grabbed number 2 infographic and number 3 infographic, and I'm just pasting them into Napkin, and we can find some graphics that we like this way and just repeat that for the third one. So we've quickly built 3 different infographics just by copying and pasting some information that we generated in list form using the ChatGPT client here. So now our Notion template is updated. We've got 3 infographics in it. So far from a testing point of view, though, we've been able to read information quite easily out of Notion, but writing back to it has still been a manual sort of process. So what I'm thinking of doing is let's create a little web presentation. We've got a bunch of information that we'd like in the presentation, and we've got a couple of infographics that will make it visually appealing. So I think we should just create a new chat window. We are going to need to reconnect through to Notion. So we'll go and click plus on that. We're now working with Notion, and I think we can go into advanced voice mode and see what happens here. I would like you to create a HTML presentation for me. The way I want you to go about it is look at the information from the Notion page and come up with the structure of a presentation. It should have 3 slides in it. After that, can you also write it using Tailwind CSS? We'll put it into a simple HTML page, and I'll supply the 3 graphics that we can currently see on the Notion template as individual PNG files in the same folder as the actual HTML page that we're going to.
To create an HTML Notion content you provided, you can start with 3 slides. 1. New capabilities from day 11. Overview of the latest features introduced. 2. Key features and updates. Details about advanced voice mode and integration with writing tools. 3. Product update highlights. Summary of benefits. For the structure, use a simple HTML page with Tailwind CSS classes for styling. Include the 3 PNG graphics in the appropriate slides. This will ensure a clean and effective presentation.
Now, the advanced voice mode worked to create some information, but one of the things I didn't see here was the ability to integrate with Canvas, which is something I would use if I was doing the coding. So I've come over to the regular web view, and we're just going to paste this information that we got. So the original information from ChatGPT desktop is here, and we've just got, can you create a slideshow? I've said that I'll give it 3 images, and I just want a little frame. And lastly, I'm just going to make sure it's using Canvas. And what this will do is just build a little application for us. We'll go back to ChatGPT desktop, and we'll integrate with this code, maybe using VS Code. So I've just taken all this information, copied it, I put it into a file called slides, and if we run it, it looks like it's working okay. It's not very pretty, but it is working. And I think it's that integration with VS Code that we could do that can make this look more stylish. So we'll stay within this chat, but what we're going to do is stop our connection to Notion and go and add a new connection. And this time we're going to do it to code. And it looks like we've got to add an extension to Visual Studio to make this work correctly. So I was expecting to be able to use it from the extension marketplace, but it doesn't seem like it's available yet. It's saying that it can work with VS Code, but also other tools like Cursor, and that we need to download it. So I've just pressed Command-Shift-P, and we'll just go with extensions install from VSIX. And we just scroll down, click on this, and click install. Now I've come back to ChatGPT desktop. We can click on this little button, and now we can add code. And it says working with code. Now initially I didn't have a whole lot of control over what it was pointing at. On my particular system, I had 8 versions of Visual Studio running across multiple desktops, so I pretty much had to close them all down. And then when I clicked on a file, that's when this became the focus. So if we just come over and click on a logo, because I think for the presentation, we should style it after something, and we'll come back to here and we'll see if we've got that available. So we'll write a little prompt that says, can you extract the image colors from this image and list them with nice names? Now, what image? I'm just going to see what happens if I paste in the file name, and we'll just press enter. So we've got some sort of analyzing going on at the moment. So we'll try a different technique. If we come over here, we've got upload a photo. We could do that. Let's try to take a screenshot, and it looks like we want to work with code. So we'll go with open system settings and make sure that we've got accessibility available. And it's this enable screen recording that we need to turn on. So that's now available. And I've probably got to reopen the application. So let's take a screenshot. We'll go with code, and it looks like it's uploading something. And we'll go, can you extract the colors? And let's find some nice names. I'm hoping for the light brown and the dark brown to come through, maybe even a little bit of the gray. And this is a really awesome analysis, actually, because you can see there's a background transparency going on. It's picked up some of that. So we got the occurrences of these different colors being shown for us as well. But the problem with this analysis is that it's picked up all the dark grays and blacks from around the image and not the main image. So what we'll do is we'll just upload the file and make it really simple. And we'll use the same prompt again and see what we get. So we've got a listing of colors. I've just selected them and copied them. Can you update slides.html with these colors? And what we'll do is we'll just paste in what we've got. Now the code on the left is what it's generated, and it's quite a problem because it obviously didn't read this file, because this file has 3 slides in it. It's got a little bit of JavaScript, and we've got a frame, and we really want to see the colors that we've picked over here integrated into this somehow. I'm going to come up and just use these colors that we had before. And I think I'll just go back to Canvas in this particular case and use the prompt that we were hoping would work in the ChatGPT desktop. Now, if this is working correctly, we're going to see colors come through for the different branding guidelines, and then they should get used somewhere. So text secondary, background primary is coming through into the HTML. So Canvas works great, but this is still only working from the web view. We better come back and just replace this, hit save, and now we have new capabilities in our slideshow. Still probably a problem in the background, but that's an easy fix. And it really has nothing to do with the testing of the ChatGPT desktop. Now, so far, the features of the desktop version of ChatGPT are a little incomplete. Some of them work a little bit, but most of them aren't working to the level of integration that I would love to see. But this is an initial beta version, so we'll see what happens. What I think we can do is at least try one more prompt. Let's see if we can extract the information in the slide deck, and we'll write a little prompt that says, can you read from this slide deck, get the data, and we'll see if we can turn it into some sort of JSON structure. Now, it has found that information, and from the looks of things, this has actually worked pretty good. So if we look at it, we got title, new capabilities from day 1. That's coming from this information here. Let's look at the color that came back from it. So we've got 203, 186, 150. That's coming from this background primary. And then we can see key features and updates, highlight voice mode functionality, and that's coming from here. So this information is definitely reading cleanly from VS Code using the ChatGPT desktop. So that's my first look at ChatGPT desktop. It's got a little ways to go. A few things don't work the way you want, but it's got huge potential. So I'm looking forward to seeing what OpenAI do in the next couple of months. Now, I do videos usually on prompt engineering, AI architecture, and agents. So please like and subscribe if that's the sort of information you're after. See you in the next video.